Good morning, everyone. Well, isn't even morning? I hope this video goes up on Sunday morning. If not, good evening or whatever. Okay, so the last week of the prototype phase is over, huh? This also means that I have been working on this game for 2 months already. Time is flying by and it's sure crazy. This means that we're slowly approaching the halfway point of this game's production, and I have trouble wrapping my head around this fact. Let's get to this week's stats. This week I continued writing Chapter 2, made some fixes in the Twine prototype, asked online for QA testers and finished writing the QA questionnaire, and continued implementing in RenPy. All of this took me 9 hours of project and file management, 5 hours of writing, no hours on game art, 5 hours of game design, 2 hours of implementing, 2 hours of social media management, and 12 hours of miscellaneous stuff. While writing this week's devlog, I was actually quite surprised that I had such a spike of hours in management again. I think I even said this in a past log, but I assumed that it won't go up this much again. The reason why I did though was because I spent a whole day on writing the QA questionnaire, and I continued this as project management because this kind of task doesn't exactly fit into the other categories very well, and I didn't want to bunch it together with the miscellaneous stuff because I felt like writing a QA questionnaire is quite important, so it wouldn't kind of fit there. Anyways, I mentioned in a past log that I won't be showing more than the prologue of the game because, spoilers, duh, so I thought it might be cool to take a look at the questionnaire for today. It's not very long, but that's mostly because at this stage I won't be asking for audio-visual evaluation and only want to make sure that the basis of the game actually works. One thing I also found very important to ask is if the testers had prior experience with visual novels. You might ask yourself, but why does that even matter? And the answer is, there is always the possibility that players who have never played a visual novel, or any game for that fact, might find your game first, and in that case, it's important to know whether or not your game requires prior experience. At first, back when I started studying game design, I had the mindset of tutorials are superfluous and we don't even need them. And then we playtested our games and oh boy, tutorials proved to be very necessary. Especially if people from other majors or people from outside who have never played a video game before play your game, and that's kind of a thing. And then when I recently started playing Apex Legends, I mean, there is a tutorial, but I found it so bare bones. Basically, it's just, this is how controls work, and nothing else. I have never played a Battle Royale game before, so I kind of felt left out, almost. And I think this is especially the case when you're not familiar with a specific genre, for example, Battle Royale, or in my case, visual novels. And even if you might be familiar with a specific genre and everything, there might still be that one game which does everything different, and in that case, it's especially relevant to have a tutorial. Well, I'm already digressing, and honestly, tutorials and, in quotes, gatekeeping, as it's sometimes called, are enough for their own videos respectively. Maybe I'll do one on them, but for now, just let's leave it at that. I've never done any QA tests on my own games before, especially not with the questionnaire, and not even with outsiders, i.e. not the other 6 game design students from my semester. So this is gonna be quite an experience for me. I'm not sure how to handle this because apparently some of the testers I asked to test who volunteered have already done professional QA testing, so that's gonna be very interesting. But I'm really happy that actually quite a lot of people volunteered. I kind of assumed maybe 2 or 3 people will volunteer, but as of me writing this devlog, there are already 6 people who have volunteered. So I almost feel like a professional now, and my credits are gonna be 20% music and 80% QA tester, so that's also great. One thing I felt like I should mention is that I will extend the prototype phase up until Monday, because there have been a few bugs in the prototype which I wasn't able to fix until now. So I will take another day to make sure that the QA testers will have something functioning to test. So there's no point in asking me whether they got ending 1 if they have never reached the ending because the game crashes in chapter 3 or something. Yeah, so let's get on to the last segment. What are my plans for next week and the next stage, which is the alpha stage? First of all, I want to finish everything up and have a working build for my QA testers by Monday evening, of course. Then I need to finally finish up writing all of the dialogue and narration, which should have been done in this phase, but it just wasn't possible. Then by the end of the alpha phase, I need to finish up the asset list, which goes hand in hand with finishing the in-game text, and also one task which I still haven't done yet, which is tracking how long it takes me to make the art assets, because that will determine how many I will be able to make. I think I'm also going to do this in week 9, which is next week, while the game is out for review, because I will not be doing anything in terms of implementing. So I will have like a week's time worth of doing art. Also, I need to get started with the UI. While the default Ren'Py UI is functional, I would personally like it if it looked a little bit different, so I'm gonna try and figure out how UI works in Ren'Py, which I heard is kind of a little bit of coding, so I'm scared, but let's see how this works. And I guess the rest we'll figure out once I'm done with next week. So yeah, hey, we're already at the end of this video, and for once I wasn't rushed, so wow, surprise. If you want to stay up to date with my shenanigans, feel free to check out my social media links in the description. Otherwise, I'd be glad if I see you here next week for the following devlog. And next week, or this week, depending on when this video goes online, I will probably upload a special video for the NaNoWriMo, which is the National Novel Writing Month. If you're more into writing and less into games, that might be interesting. And the week after that, I'm planning on finally uploading my second year of game design sketchbook tour, which is overdue. Same goes for my second year of game design video, which is currently I'm still writing the script, so this might take a month more or two. I'm sorry that it's so late, but it's gonna be online before the year ends, I promise. And yeah, aside from that, thanks for watching and bye!